Hi, I'm Aaron, and why don't you roll up your sleeves with me today as we make some pizza dough. Okay, I'm gonna get right into this. I am starting with about 1/4 ounce of fresh yeast. So this is baker's yeast. I keep it in the freezer. It's 1/4 ounce. I get a pound at a time, and then I portion it out and keep it in the freezer. It keeps for up to a year in the freezer. I'm going to add 2 cups of hot tap water. Okay, now I'm going to use the hot tap water to break down the frozen yeast until it's fully incorporated into the water. Try not to get water everywhere. Okay, so it's into the water now. I'm going to add about 1 packed tablespoon of brown sugar. Stir that in there. I've got about 1 tablespoon of salt. Stir that in there. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. It's just a local store brand. Okay, give this a good stir. So this is going to be a little more of a wet dough. So I'm going to start with a 1-to-1 mixture to get it incorporated. So that means I have 2 cups of water, and I'm going to add 2 cups of flour into my mixture. So this is a 1/2 cup measuring cup that I'm using. That's 1 cup and 2 cups. So this is pizza dough. So that means to me I am going to make a fairly sticky dough, and I'm going to let it rest and do the pre-ferment in the fridge for a minimum of 24 hours. And if we can go longer, 36 or 48 hours is better, because it's going to allow all of those nice flavors develop at a slow rate and not overproof. Okay, so this is almost a batter consistency now. Got all the clumps of flour broken up with my fork. I'm going to add an additional 2 cups of flour into my mixture, and that is probably all I'm going to need to add. Might add a cup and mix it in, and then start to work it in with my hands. I am going to give it a medium knead today. I'm going to knead it for about 7 minutes. I use a high gluten flour, or some places call that a high protein flour. You can get pizza flour, which is a high protein flour. If you use an all-purpose flour, you're not going to get the desired results from your crust. You're not going to get that crunch. You're also not going to be able to support your piece of pie when you finish the baking process. And when I say that, I mean when you cut your slices into a triangle and you lift it off, your pizza, if done properly, will support itself by holding it by the end. If you are using a lower protein flour, what's going to happen is that end is going to flop down, and you are going to lose all your toppings on your plate. Okay, so now I've got 4 cups into this and 2 cups of water and a 1/4 cup of yeast. We'll just work it in pretty good. So it is also very important that you let it refrigerate. You can, if you are in a rush, by all means, let it sit on the counter for 3 or 4 hours. It will rise. You can punch it down. You can make your pizza out of it. But if you have the forethought to make your dough ahead of time, the results in flavor are going to pay for itself in the time that you have waited to make it. You can also make a drier dough for your pizza. I prefer a more hydrated dough, kind of gives a little bit more of an airy, light flavor or light texture. Gives you some of those uniform air bubbles throughout the crust. It is going to be very difficult to knead. So I'm just going to knead it in the bowl versus taking it out and kneading it on the counter. But if you can see, the texture that I'm working with here is a very wet dough. And it's after it proofs for 36 or 24 hours, you're going to see it's a lot easier to work with. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to cover it up and put it in the fridge, and we will return to work with it at a later time. Okay, we're back. The pizza dough has rested for 36 hours. I have taken it out and started to stretch it. I've heavily floured and cornmealed the peel because I really don't want it to stick on the peel. So let's see if this works this time. I was told to work fast on a very heavily floured peel, and I shouldn't have a problem with it sticking this time. So I've got some house-made barbecue sauce. That is, I made this barbecue sauce on the barbecue. So I'm gonna spread that out. So what we're making is barbecue chicken pizza on a barbecue with homemade barbecue sauce. I just barbecued up some chicken. I'm going to use some cheddar cheese on this. So I start with cheddar cheese, get it nice and a fairly liberal amount of cheese on it. People expect a cheesy pizza, right? Okay. Cheesy pizza. Okay. I have barbecue chicken. I will be posting a video on my barbecue chicken at a later date. It gives you my dry rub recipe that I used. It's really good. Okay. That is barbecue chicken. I'm going to put on some chopped white onion. This pizza is going to taste so good. I've got some chopped turkey sausage. Keeping the poultry mood here. Okay, now I'm going to add homemade sun-dried tomatoes. I spent, I think, 8 hours drying these tomatoes. I guess they're oven-dried tomatoes. Slowly, 200 degrees in my oven, and it is worth it. I'm going to add some bell pepper to the pizza. I'm only going to add it on half. My family likes bell peppers. My stomach doesn't. So, that's on. I'm going to add some chopped mushrooms. And now, just to finish it off, I'm going to add some feta cheese. There we go. And I'll have you join me out at the barbecue and we'll get this right on there. Alright, so we're at the barbecue and it is at a smoking hot 475 degrees. It is a beautiful day for a barbecue. Haha, ta-da! It's not so bad. Let me get on these little pieces that fell off, and then I will get that lid closed because we don't want to lose too much of our heat. Alright. Okay, so it's been 18 minutes, and the pizza is beautiful and done. I bet you're jealous. I know I would be. So there you go, 18 minutes. Kept it right around 475 degrees, and it is nice and bubbly, and it looks fantastic. And so now I'm gonna go share this with my family. So thank you for watching.